Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to another episode of Meet the Experts, the only podcast that is the anti-podcast. My name is Jay Vix. I will be your host for the next 25-30 minutes. What is Meet the Experts? It's just a place where we give business owners, people that are doing cool things, people that have a story to tell, a platform to share it on video. Because a lot of times we have a hard time making videos to promote ourselves. And oftentimes I come across somebody like today's guest who I've actually gotten to know her and her husband for a while, who have a really cool story to share. And it's not businessy like some of the other ones. This is really an amazing cause that we're going to talk about today. And I wanted to give people a platform and a chance to share it on video in a short format. And then, so if you would like to be a guest on Meet the Experts, if you're thinking, wow, that sounds pretty cool, then stick around to the end of the episode and I will come back and tell you how you can apply to be a guest on Meet the Experts. By the way, the cost is really, really good. $0. So let me turn to today's guest. Really excited to have Rachel on today. Rachel Minion is a relentless cancer warrior and founder of Beyond Basic Needs, which is a nonprofit dedicated to providing chemo care kits. You're going to love that. And critical support to those undergoing treatment. She's on a mission to ensure no one faces their cancer journey alone, connecting warriors with the resources and community that they need. And without further ado, Rachel, hi, my friend. How are you? Oh, you're muted. It wouldn't be Zoom if we didn't have that, right?
It's just that kind of day. Let's call it a Monday.
I love it. How are you?
I'm divine. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I've been looking forward to this episode. Just as a little backstory, your husband, John, and I, we meet once a month and we just talk about business, what's going on, what's new. And the last time we spoke, I think it was the second time he told me about it, but I didn't really quite understand the whole involvement. And as he described what Beyond Basic Needs was and your involvement, I was like, oh my gosh, would she come on Meet the Experts? So I was super excited to have you on. I'm really excited to get started with the interview. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's make it happen.
All right, cool. One of the things we talked about when you and I met to talk about this episode was that, Beyond Basic Needs, which is the organization that you're co-founder of, I believe, right? Co-founder.
Yep.
You champion the term cancer warrior instead of the word survivor. A lot of people talk about cancer survivors. So as somebody who's actually walked this journey yourself, can you share why that distinction matters and how it kind of really shapes your entire organization's approach to supporting people?
From the minute that I received my diagnosis, it changed everything. Do I really care that I'm wearing mismatched socks? No. Do I care that I put the fork in where the knife was in the drawer? No. The things that used to matter or seem to make sense or that would be upsetting or frustrating no longer were. So once we enter that battle, we understand every single piece of our life changes. And it can never go back to the way that it was before you hear the C word. But when you think about the word, what we're all trying to do is survive, right? But if we're in the battle of our life, that feels discriminatory for those who did not live, but they went through the same battle. I like to think of all of us as Greek gods. We are going through on this battle. We are warriors. We are going through a life or death fight that we didn't have the option, are we going to be in or not be in? So let's take control of that diagnosis. Instead of thinking of it as this passive, I'm just going to be a cancer survivor, I'm a cancer, fighter. No. Let's make this where we put the power back in the hands of the patient and let's honor their fight in every step of the journey.
Love that. Absolutely love that. Yeah. It's to me, it's just mind blowing, but and I think it should be. And I think it's really important. Like, I love that distinction. I really do. And that's just, it was the second time you told me. And I was wondering about getting emotional on the episode.
Well, it changes everything, right? When you take a second and you think, okay, how do we make this more inclusive? We're all in the battle of our lives. We know what's happening. We know that every fight is unique, but we're all fighting for our life. And that really, truly just binds us all as warriors.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right. Let's talk about this. People are going through, they're warriors, they're fighting this insidious disease. And you guys are sending out chemo care kits, which I didn't know, and you get to explain to it, but inside one of these kits that people are receiving are things like handmade port pillows. I want you to talk about port pillows and comfort essentials, but can you walk us through um, the moment when a cancer warrior opens up one of these kits and how this tangible support makes a difference toward their treatment?
Absolutely. So when I was diagnosed, I was shocked to find the silence of my friends, my family, my coworkers. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know what to say. Can they call me? Should they text me? What do you do? So we created Beyond Basic Needs so that we could create an actionable step for anybody, whether it's the cancer warrior themselves or their family or their friends. It's an actionable step that they can do. And what comes in a chemo care kit is curated for someone who's undergoing chemotherapy treatments. Believe it or not, we have the comfy socks, we have tattoo eyebrows, really awesome. We have lip balm, we have hand sanitizer, we have masks, all of these different pieces together. But the key to our kits is a port pillow. So when you're undergoing chemotherapy, you get a port in your chest. And it is probably the most uncomfortable thing that you could ever imagine. But now you have to get to and from treatment. And this thing is here. You don't want to get into a car and put a seatbelt over this. It's already uncomfortable. Now, what are you going to do? Sure, it may be a little dull and whatever, but now we're going to put a seatbelt over it? No. So we have a port pillow that we sew and put those in every kit. And the best part about this is they are all handmade. We have women all over the US who are helping us with this. It started off where I had my mother-in-law help, and then I enlisted my aunt. And now we have a women's club in Willaca helping us. And I have quilters that are now all over the nation helping us. And it is the most amazing thing to think that they are using up their scrap fabric to be able to be part of this and to be able to support cancer warriors across the US.
I love that, and it's a perfect lead into the next question. And part of the next question you've just answered because of that. And I think, to me, I find that amazing that you have these people that are volunteering time and resources. So a lot of small businesses, and a lot, like we think in nonprofits, are all about creating meaningful impact with very limited resources, right? You're relying on others for your resource to provide you. How has Beyond Basic Needs managed to keep administrative costs low while ensuring that 100% of the designated donations go directly to creating these kits? And you talked about volunteers doing the pillows, but what other things have helped you keep those costs down?
Well, first and foremost, we're a volunteer-run organization. We don't have any paid staff. We work really hard to ensure one of our board members is doing the fulfillment out of her house up in Maryland. We work on doing all of the administration and the marketing. It's fortunate I also run a marketing company, so we're able to donate that time from the company and be able to pull from there. And once we started to grow, I realized I can't just fundraise from my network and have that pay for 100% of the kit. So I've reached out and I was able to get sponsors. So we have temporary eyebrow tattoos from my two brows that are in-kind donations, electrolytes from LMNT, shipping containers from You Pack and Ship, cozy socks from the Sock Club, notebooks from Gem City Coffee, and then we open up a Amazon wish list. So that way we can continue to get donations, keep all the costs down. We know we've gotten our biggest expense is shipping. And trust me, I've done every single thing humanly possible to be able to get that down. But there's just no way around the cost of US Postal Service to get to and from. But I'm also really grateful because we have the marketing company. We have a CRM that has been able to help support us scaling. So when I talk about scaling, let's be honest. We were doing 5 kit requests a week. I can handle fundraising for 5 kit requests a week. I could handle the administration of it. I can handle the back and forth. There's no problem. Customer service, you got it. Somehow in January, we were featured at the top of Cancer Care News for our care kits. And the request went from 5 a week to 35 a day.
Holy mackerel.
How do you scale that overnight? Now, luckily, having the marketing company and the marketing automation and expertise, we took the CRM that we have and built in automation. So we have a wait list, we have emails that go out, we have a whole workflow to get from A to B. I do not have my shipping provider plugged in, but at some point we will have that so that everything goes seamlessly, because quite frankly, the administration end of this is insane. There is no way a small company full of volunteers would have the time and energy to be able to do this. And the demand has stayed up. We were really surprised. We didn't know what to expect. We didn't even ask to be on the site. Quite frankly, we haven't really marketed the company because we knew that we needed a certain number of donations to be able to fulfill the supply. So if we haven't marketed the company, and yet here we are, we need to put those right things in place. And so not only did we do that to keep the cost down, I raised my hand in every quilting and sewing group you can imagine. I'm not a crafty person. I have no idea what I'm doing. I can go design something. I can't sew anything. And I have received over 30 volunteers to help us create port pillows.
That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. I want that to also be known. Like, I want to make sure that word spreads, because I don't think you could have too many volunteers, right? Ever. I mean, even if, like, hey, this group can't do it this month, oh, no problem, I've got another group that can. Like, I don't think you could ever have too many, because not everybody's going to always be able to give you that full attention. So I want that to be really known. And as you were saying it, I'm like, wow, like, my daughter is a member of an organization called American Heritage Girls. It's kind of like Girl Scouts, but they have teenagers and they do these types of projects all the time. And I'm immediately thinking, like, I wonder if they can do a project to sew port pillows. Like, I'm going to talk to you about that later.
I need all the help I can get.
Absolutely. All right. So a lot of people that have watched Meet the Experts over the last 5 years, I can't believe it's been 5 years, but it's been 5 years. They're entrepreneurs. They started their businesses to solve problems that maybe they personally experienced. What was that moment or experience that kind of sparked the creation of this nonprofit, and how has your personal journey influenced the mission?
So about 11 years ago, my husband and I had just gotten married. We had literally just moved to Chicago. I'm traveling for work. I'm in New York. I'm in the middle of Adobe, or I think it was Google headquarters, and we're having this executive meeting for Verizon. And all of a sudden, I don't feel good. And I can't fit in my pants. I am so bloated, I can't even breathe. And these are pants that were loose about 20 minutes before that. And I can't take the smell of coffee and the bagels that they just wheeled in. It's just, I'm green. So I pull out my trusty phone and I Google, and I'm pregnant. My Google MD is always right. There's no question. I can diagnose anything. And I get on the next flight home. I wait about a week and a half, and I'm having stomach pains also. And I Google pregnancy and stomach pain, and every woman says, oh, I had the worst pain for 9 months. And I'm thinking, I am the biggest wimp alive. This is ridiculous. I'm pregnant. I have to do this for 9 months. So we go to urgent care the next morning just to do a pregnancy test. And they say, ma'am, you're not pregnant. Oh, so what am I? We don't know. So it's a Saturday. They say, we're not going to have to talk to you until Monday, and we'll call you and let you know the results of your blood tests. Saturday or Sunday morning at 7 a.m., I get a phone call and says, ma'am, go to the hospital. Go to the hospital now. We're the lab. I'm emailing you your results now. We're not even allowed to contact you, but I've never seen a white blood cell count so high. So turns out my appendix burst. And I didn't know. And you'd think in most cases, a person who's with a burst appendix would die, but apparently that's not always true. So I stayed in the hospital to get the infection down. And then 6 weeks later, I did my surgery. And 2 weeks after that, I went in for a follow-up and they said, ma'am, you have cancer.
Mm.
Oh, I had just quit my job, accepted another job. I was expecting that this is going to be the best week of my life. And nope. So what I found over the next few months are the people that were the closest to me, my family, my friends, the coworkers from the old place, the coworkers from the new place that I already knew, they disappeared. There was silence. They didn't know what to say or do. How do you talk to someone who's in their early 30s who has cancer? What do you say? I mean, I would have taken a poop emoji. I would have talked about any Real Housewife. It doesn't matter. Talk to me about anything, just not this. And I experienced such an isolating silence. It was horrible. So I vowed I'd never let that happen again. Now, fast forward a few years, and I am working at Ticketmaster. And one of the longtime employees, he'd been there about 15 years, was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. And the minute that happened, he had coworkers that had been working with him for 10 to 15 years. And even they were silent. Mm. So what do you do? So I started creating care kits for him in the hospital. I would go through, send a bunch of crosswords, and here's all the random goodies that you need so that you can actually wash your hair and not with the hospital stuff. Here's the things that you're going to need, and made sure his room was stocked. And, that always stayed with me. Mm. So during the pandemic, you can imagine I'm still working at Ticketmaster, but there's no events, there's no tickets. And so there's no Ticketmaster employees. About 80% of us were furloughed on a Zoom call. Mm. And that was the day that luckily changed my life. I had a marketing company on the side, and I was trying to figure out, what do you do with it? How do you do it? There's only so many hours in a day. So I scaled that up full time. And most of the customers that had been with me for 10 years, we did all the projects that I couldn't get to. And about a month later, I started talking to my husband and said, look, I need to do something here. I need to be able to make an impact, because if I can't create something actionable that anybody can do to support their friends, family, coworkers, then I failed. And I haven't used this experience to be able to make an impact in the world. And so John and I are sitting together trying to figure out, what do we do and how do we do it? And it's weird starting a nonprofit, because even same as when you're starting a business, you never know exactly what it is you're going to do and where that end result is going to be. So we started the nonprofit knowing we wanted to make an impact, but how? I have no idea. We had ideas, we started to pull things together, but we needed some real world data. And then my girlfriend, who's a board member up in Maryland, came to me and she said, so I've been making these chemo care kits. She was one lymph node away from being a stage 4 breast cancer warrior.
Wow.
And she said, I need help. Can you guys help? Absolutely. She had gotten about 100 kits out herself and realized the insane cost of this, as well as the impact that they make when they're received. So we thought, okay, we can help. And over the last about 3 years now, we've been able to grow this together. So I think as of today, we're hitting our 1200th cancer warrior who's received a care kit from us.
That is amazing.
It's been an unbelievable impact. And it's something that I realized I alone cannot change the world, but I can make these little ripples that will then continue to have effect.
And you are, and that's, again, talking with Rachel Minion here. I have a ticker going across the bottom. I only have a couple of more questions, but take a look at that scrolling news ticker. And if you want to volunteer or donate, there's a link that's coming up right about now. And I know it goes backwards on there, beyondbasicneeds.org. What you just said kind of parlays into my next question. And maybe what you just said is the answer to this. But if I really just wanted to kind of prod you and said, what's the biggest lesson that you've learned since starting Beyond Basic Needs? What is it?
Ask for help. I am a girl who is of the mindset I can take on any challenge that there is. You put it in front of me, I will figure out a way, piece by piece. We'll get there. But I know that my biggest downfall is asking for help. I will never do it unless my back is absolutely against the wall. And I was so incredibly surprised and grateful the minute I raised my hand and said, I need help. I can't, I need help. I need sewers. I need people for in-kind donations. I need help to do these things. And the response has been amazing. And not only have they been able to help scale, but now we're able to have a bigger impact. Believe it or not, because I asked for help on my own Facebook page, my personal one, we have Constellation Energy who's going to provide a ton of kits in Maryland. And we're going to be able to do a donation in the name of my board member to the cancer center that saved her life, as well as to my mom's cancer center that saved her life.
Oh, man. That's awesome. Ask for help.
Ask for help.
Just ask.
Just ask. Everybody wants to help.
Right.
They don't know how. It's crazy, right? Like, but if I say, hey, Jay, can you help me with this? Most cases, you're going to say, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you absolutely have no idea what you're doing, but I'm happy to hear you.
Right. No, yeah, that's that. Wow. All right. I've got one more question. This has been absolutely amazing. I can't wait to get this out and share it with everyone. And again, I love your answers have seemed to kind of parlay into the next question each time, which has just made this such a more enjoyable conversation. If a small business owner is watching this episode right now, whenever it may be that they're watching it, and they want to make a meaningful difference through Beyond Basic Needs, whether that's your corporate partnership program or some other avenue, we talked about, sewing and donated volunteering. What is the single most impactful way for a small business to get involved with you right now?
I think there's a few. So the first is, do you have a promotional product or that you can put into some of our kits that would be great, like a hand sanitizer, ginger chews, chapsticks, masks, any of that has your logo on it? Give me a shout. Let's go there. Or do you want to sponsor a product to put in that we can print your logo on with it? We can absolutely do that. We can also do what Constellation Energy is doing, and they're creating an entire program around, they're creating a meaningful team activity to be able to give back. They're getting in all the different pieces to the kits and they're kitting them themselves and providing us with kits, which is unbelievable. If you're passionate about fundraising, we need your help. The cost of shipping is not going down. As you know, the Postal Service is raising rates like nobody's business, and you know how that goes. So we need help there. And know a group of sewers, have somebody with scrap fabric. We need your help as well.
That is awesome. Rachel, I hope that this interview and episode reaches people far and wide. I hope this is our most watched interview ever. I think it's definitely deserving of it, and such a refreshing departure from not that I don't love every guest that's ever come on, but just, they start to sound the same. And I'm happy for that. That's why I do it. But I want to thank you for the opportunity to have me ask you these questions. I feel grateful that I'm getting to actually do this and help share this. And maybe that's that little ripple that I think I can feel like I'm making to help.
Absolutely.
And so I really want to thank you for coming on. Guys, if you're watching this, donate or volunteer today. Go to beyondbasicneeds.org. Reach out. I know Rachel and John personally. I feel like, this is definitely a worthwhile. I mean, you can't watch this and not think it's a worthwhile endeavor. So go support. And Rachel, thank you so much for being a guest.
Thank you. I'm so grateful.
Absolutely. Hang out backstage. I'll be right with you. All right. That was Rachel Minion, Beyond Basic Needs. Please just go get involved. Go to the website and check it out. I did mention, to change gears ever so slightly here, I did mention that if you want to be a guest on Meet the Experts, have an interview just like Rachel did, it costs you nothing. I'm happy to do it. It's 30 minutes out of our day, and I'm more than happy to give you all the video files when we're done. You can take them, edit them, they're yours. Do whatever you want with them. So let me tell you first that Meet the Experts is powered by Journey Builder. It's our our all-in-one CRM system that helps run and power all the automations and everything we need for our guest experience. As well, we have getjourneybuilder.com. And if you want to be a future guest on Meet the Experts and experience some of the automation and CRM that we have in place, please visit www.meettheexpertspodcast.com, Meet the Experts with an S, podcast.com. And until our next episode, before you go to sleep tonight, say something nice to somebody else, or visit Beyond Basic Needs and go get involved. And we'll see you soon. See you on the next episode. Take care.